You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Oh, let me tell you something. I am so sick of Washington and all its works and all them politicians down there and them congressmen. I'll bet you won't find none of them congressmen signing down their electric blankets tonight. Which if they did, their secretaries would get up and go home.
We gotta do something. Absolutely. You know what we gotta do? Toga party.
Toga! 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 Toga!
Click, click, boom! I'm coming down on the stereo, put me on the radio. Click, click, boom!
I want you to kill every golfer on the course.
Check me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but if I kill all the golfers, they're gonna lock me up and throw away the key.
All right. It's Friday night, which means it's time for Robinson the Right. We're live right now on KLR and radio.com, where liberty and reason still reign. We do this thing every Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, and figure it out wherever else you are, because I'm done doing time zones for the night. All right, so I'm one half of the crew, Mr. Rick Robinson. This is the other half, Mr. Dan Wright. I'm actually going to let him talk for a second, because, you know, I'm the guy that never shuts up, apparently. That's what our guest said last week, anyway.
Oh, no, you kind of, I don't know. Every time I'm on with you and somebody else, that's kind of the funny thing about him ribbing you about that, is that every time I'm on with somebody else, with the two of us, I just kind of tend to dominate.
Yeah, well, honestly, part of that is because of the setup that we use. Because the issue is, what I've noticed that there have been times if I have more than one person on with me and we all start trying to talk at the same time, because Skype doesn't have a diplexer, which is something that can actually split the signal up, we start walking all over each other. So it's just usually easier, especially if you guys weren't talking, it would be different. But if you guys are constantly talking back and forth, there's not really anything for me to chime in about anyway. And like I told you guys last week, I do this multiple times a week, and so I really don't care if every so often we have a guest on and you guys monopolize the show. So yeah, it doesn't hurt my feelings. No matter how much I make
and to say it again, to let him know if he's listening, having VOA on last week was awesome. I loved it. But yeah, I do have a lot to say.
But that's fine.
It really almost is a continuation of last week's show.
Almost all of my shows this week have been a continuation of things that we've already talked about, because it's the new story that won't die, because more and more keeps coming out about it, and the more that comes out about it, the more I want to just scream, because the system failed these people that died in this school on every single possible level. And yet everybody's like, but the NRA is evil, and they want people to hunt people and murder people. And so
I couldn't believe that when I saw that today.
Yeah, just to piss everybody off, I re-upped my NRA membership tonight. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even thinking about it right now, I get this little pain kind of like right between my left eye and my nose. This post from, I can't remember the name of the person. They're not a verified account, but they've got like 60,000 followers.
Yeah, I'm sure they bought most of them.
The NRA has been training people to hunt down and kill humans. Really? Really? This and I look at the post, and the post has like thousands of favorites and retweets. And it's like, do these people really think this? Do they really think this? Yes, okay. Yes, the NRA does lobby for the gun manufacturers. But do you know why they lobby for the gun manufacturers? Because the people that have memberships, that pay for memberships, want them to, because they want to be able to buy guns. That's why they lobby for gun manufacturers. That's why they do it. Other than that, like I said earlier today on social media, the NRA is the single most, the biggest advocate for gun safety in the world. And people don't even realize that. They think all the NRA wants to do is arm people to kill everybody. No. The main thing that the NRA does is teach safe and responsible gun ownership. They teach people to properly maintain, own, and safely use their guns. And to be perfectly honest with you, a big part of the reason why the NRA came about was to teach minorities how to safely keep and own guns and advocate for the ownership of guns by minorities. But now the NRA is Russian and racist, and they want to kill everybody on the face of the earth. That's what they want. If you don't agree with them, they just want you. They want you dead. They want kids dead in schools. They want everybody dead. This is getting on my nerves, if you can't tell.
No, I hadn't noticed. I mean,
it drives me. And I'll be honest with you, I had a tiff with the NRA during the elections. Before the primaries, when they backed Trump, I wasn't happy. Because all of you people out there calling me Ivan, I am not a Trump supporter. Just to let you know. I was pissed at the NRA. I'm a life member. And I was pissed. Because at the time, I didn't want Trump to be president. I was pissed off at them, and I was vocal about it. But either way, I'm a life member. Trump's president now, whatever. To be honest with you, he's not being too Second Amendment friendly, as everybody's trying to say, oh, look at Trump, oh, the big backer of the NRA. He's really not being all that 2A friendly right now. He's already talking about wanting bans. And so is a bunch of Bushites, by the way. So, somebody who I really like, Condoleezza Rice.
So, Trump, talking bans, that didn't really surprise me. The one that honestly kind of punched me in the face was Marco Rubio talking about raising the legal age to purchase a rifle. That one just kind of punched me in the face.
Me too.
But yeah, all these former Bush politicians and former Bush cabinet appointees and everything else, they need to go the way of, that we keep saying the Obama administration needs to go, and just go the hell away.
John Kasich. John Kasich is exactly who I always thought he was.
He just needs to give up and change the letter behind his name to a D.
Yes.
And I don't mean for Democrat. I mean for douche. Just saying.
I'm at the point now. It's just like, you got these resistance people calling for civil war. Wait a minute here. Wait. They're calling for civil war to disarm all these Second Amendment people. Really? You want a civil war? What, do you think if a civil war starts, we're going to go, oh, you started a civil war. Oh, here's my guns. Take them. I'm sorry. You started a civil war. You win.
I don't.
They want to start. They're literally. I've seen posts where they're saying we need to start a civil war and take out all these Second Amendment people. So they want to start a civil war and kill us to save the children. Apparently, this is ridiculous. Now, and people say, well, it's just Twitter. Now, let's look at something else. The CNN town hall the other night. The CNN town hall. Dana Loesch goes in there because she was asked to take part in this town hall. Now she's up there. She makes her points. Just as that, the crowd goes kind of crazy, and they're literally saying that she needs to be burned. So they get her an escort out of there. And I will admit, and I do kind of like the guy because he can be fair. Jake Tapper was the moderator, and he leaned into her and he said, do you want me to get you an escort out of here? And he did. He got her an escort out of there. Then I see these other progressive columnists and media types and whatever calling Dana and her husband snowflakes and asking if they need a safe space. This is a woman that gets death threats every day, has had to move her family twice in the last year and a half or so because of said death threats, and she still will go on these town halls and be berated like that, and when she needs an escort out, she's a snowflake and needs a safe space? Screw these people. That's where I am now. Screw these people. We have the Second Amendment, and you're not going to take it away from me. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if it's Congress, the Senate, who it is. They're not going to take it away from me. I am not going to turn in my guns. I am not going to let them buy back my guns. I don't have guns. I don't have them. There's no registry. Prove I have them. Find them. That's all I have to say is find them. You are not going to take away my constitutional rights. The end. I'm getting so pissed off at this rhetoric. Every time a school shooting or a mass shooting happens in a gun-free zone, they bitch that it's the gun's fault. And I'm sick of it. It's not the gun's fault. It's the sick, twisted idiot that did it. That's whose fault it is. This school shooting in Florida, it's the sick, twisted idiot whose fault it is, and the people that let it happen are the Sheriff's Department of Broward County. 4 cops stood outside that school and listened to those gunshots and didn't do shit. They didn't do shit. They stood out there, they waited for it to finish, then they waited some more and let those kids bleed out on the floor in the school, and then they went in.
Oh, no.
I don't want to hear it. This isn't the NRA's fault. This isn't the gun's fault. This is the Sheriff's Department's fault, and it's the kid that did it. That's whose fault it is. And if you can't see that, you're a twisted moron.
So it's even worse, though, because they didn't just stand outside. 4 Broward County Sheriff's officers took up defensive positions, crouching behind their cars with their weapons drawn, meaning that they were prepared to defend themselves should this kid with the AR-15 come outside, but they refused to go into the school and render aid. That, now I understand that police officers can't be charged with dereliction of duty, but I don't understand why, because they take the same oath as military officers. At minimum, these officers should be fired, and this sheriff should be run out of town, because this is one of 2 things. They either refused to do anything, because they were afraid, or they refused to do anything because of the fact that they were pissed off because the school district and the superintendent and everybody else kept hemming them up when they were trying to do their job. Either one of those things, whichever one of them is true, and one of them is most likely the truth, is unacceptable. I almost gave the guy a pass. Not at first, because when I first found out that there was supposedly one guy with a gun, I was like, there's no way in hell. If I was there, I would have at least tried to do something. But then I kept rerunning it through my head, and I'm like, maybe if it's just one guy and he was calling and he was told that backup was, 15, 20 seconds out, something like that, then maybe I would have held my position. But now that I know there were four of them. Now, I want you guys to understand this, because a lot of you guys don't think this way. The standard issue weapon for a police officer in most cities is a 9mm weapon. A 9mm pistol can typically have, in an extended magazine, which most police departments allow their folks to carry, it's usually slightly larger than the ones that civvies can get. There's usually 15 in the clip, 1 in the pipe. Usually on their duty belt, they have 1 in the gun, with the extra bullet in the pipe. Then usually their duty rigs will allow them to carry 2 additional magazines, 15 rounds apiece. So that's 4 officers with 16 rounds in their weapons. So that's 4 times 16, with 8 additional clips of 15 rounds apiece. And you're telling me they couldn't stop one 19-year-old Nimron with an AR-15? Are you serious right now?
With a rifle in close quarters. With a rifle. You can't get on the floor with a rifle and be accurate. All you got to do is go get on the floor. It's all you have to do. That's what people don't seem to understand. They're like, how's a guy with a handgun going to go up with up against an AR-15? You drop to the floor and you shoot.
Well, that's honest. Well, honestly, part of it is I think people have this completely unnatural idea of what an AR-15 actually is. I think when people see an AR-15, they think it's that big BFG gun from Doom where you pull the trigger and everything explodes. That's not what an AR-15 does. It is a single pull semi-automatic rifle. Now, I will say I had Mike the Fed on Off the Rails again today, and he pointed out that one of the reasons, back before we knew there were multiple officers, that the single officer might have held his ground was because if he was using .227 ammunition, which we're pretty sure he was, that would have penetrated anything that's usually standard issue as far as ballistic vests that the police officers typically have issued to them. So that would have, again, probably given me pause. But at the end of the day, we now have 4 cops that have to live with the fact that they let 17 children be gunned down in cold blood, and 1 coach.
Right. Now, a coach who shielded children. And on top of it, you have 2 ROTC students that were of the frame of mind to pull down their Kevlar backing blankets and pull students into a room and shield them. So now you have 2 16, 17-year-olds? 3 16, 17-year-olds? And a high school coach that did more than the 4 cops that were on the scene.
And that should say something. That really should.
I just, and like, back to it. Yes, okay, he's got a big, scary AR-15. I mean, it was probably loaded with either .223 or .556. Which, yes, is a military round. Well, the .556 is a military.
My bad.
The .223 is the .223 is essentially the civilian version of the .556. But you can still get the .556. That's what I use in mine. I use .556. It's still, it's not a 7.62, which is what the military used to use. And honestly, you're more likely to have a through and through with the .223 than you are with a 9mm, a 40, or a 45. A 45, a 40, or a 9mm is just going to knock somebody back and put them to the floor. Now, it's not like the freaking movies. if you shoot a person with a 9mm, a 40 or a 45, they don't just go flying back against the wall and drop to the floor. They don't. That's not how it works. But when I say stopping power, especially with a 9mm, it just goes in and scrambles around. It just puts you down. You know, people say, "Oh, the 9mm is kind of a weak round." Yeah, it's a weak round if you're shooting at somebody's windshield. You and I were talking about it before we went on the air. I have a full frame 38, which if you looked at it, everybody thinks it's a 357. It's a big, giant ex-police issue. I mean, it was a cop gun. I actually bought it and restored it. It was a Smith & Wesson police issue 38. And it's rated for plus P rounds. Everybody says, 38's weak. There's, number one, nothing's weak. A 22 long rifle isn't weak. But a 38 plus P literally has the exact same power load of a 357, which everybody just thinks is the be-all, end-all. It's really not. A 38 plus P, if you come through my front door and I hit you with one of those in the chest, you're not coming back up. The end. People just don't understand. They think, "Ooh, big, scary rifle round." A 45, everybody's like, trajectory and ballistics and all this stuff. A 45 moves extremely slow. Do you know anybody that wants to get hit with a 45?
No. That stuff hurts.
No. Right. It may not move real fast, but it's big. It's real big. And it hits you and it takes you out. It's all about scary. And these kids that go in and do these shootings, they use the AR-15 because they think it's intimidating and everything else. I mean, I'll be honest with you. My weapon of choice, someone wants to walk through my front door, you put me in close quarters, is my tactical 870 shotgun. Because I don't even need to aim. I just need to pull the trigger. That's all I got to do is pull the trigger.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that's everybody's talking about, how dangerous the AR-15 is in close quarters. I'd rather have either a pistol or a shotgun, especially if I've only got one target I got to aim at.
That's it. I've got a shotgun loaded with PDX-1 personal protection rounds. It's a 1-ounce rifled slug with 3 double-aught buckballs behind it. If the slug misses you, one of those double-aught buckballs is going to hit you, and it's still going to put you down. People just don't get it. Uneducated people freak out over the AR-15. They just freak out. It's uneducated people. I would, if the crap hit the fan right now, and all hell was breaking loose, I would open my safe, and I would put the 45 on my hip, and I would grab the shotgun, if those are the two things I had to worry about carrying. That's what I would grab. The AR would get left behind. It wouldn't end up getting left behind. Unless I had somebody else to carry it.
The AR is nothing but a fancy toy. I've shot an AR. I don't
care
for them.
It's exactly what it is. It's a toy. It's fun. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I couldn't use it. I could. But is it my preferred weapon? No.
Trust me, I can do more damage with my Smith & Wesson Sigma 40 than I ever could with that AR-15.
Oh, the 40 is a great round. I love the 40. And that around here in North Carolina and the Charlotte area where I live, most of the cops I know, most of them have 40s. They don't use 9mm.
Hang on. NSA, if you're listening, I pawned that gun yesterday. Just saying.
Oh, no. You did?
Well, yeah, because we don't have guns.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Guns? What guns?
I don't. My safe is empty. My safe is empty.
I don't have any guns. I pawned them all yesterday. I'm just saying. All right. So believe it or not, we've already hit the bottom of the hour. Anything else you want to talk about before we push to a break, real quick?
Well, I was just going to add, and I kind of said it last week too. And I mean, the other thing, they talk about the scary ARs and the 5.56 and the 2.23. I have a complete sniper setup that's 17 caliber.
He had. Past tense.
I used to have that. And that's 17 caliber scary. It's scary. 3,300 feet per second. I don't care how small it is. A projectile traveling 3,300 feet per second hits you, it's going to put you down.
Yeah.
And on top of it, it's a 22 Magnum load behind it, going through a nice long rifle barrel. It's fairly quiet. Good luck knowing where I am when I start shooting it at you.
Okay.
So everything's relative. Everything's relative, and people don't realize that.
We're going to go to break before the NSA starts knocking on Dan's door. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. Stay tuned. Letting other people tell you what's best for your healthcare. Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
And my ground won't be turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is the Robinson and Wright Show. We're live right now on KLRNradio.com, and we've been we've been talking about pretty much the same thing we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. The craziness with the left, the gun grabbers, the hate against the NRA, and the recent shooting in Broward County that keeps evolving into a stranger and stranger situation with every new news story. Now, to take things a step further, I will say that at this point, I'm afraid the left might be finally starting to make a dent, because I've started to see like companies like Enterprise say that they're going to pull all of their NRA discounts, which screw you, Enterprise. Now I'll just rent from Hertz. Also, I heard today, I don't want to get the name of the company wrong. It's one of the really old original firearm companies I just heard declared bankruptcy. I want to say Winchester, but I'm not sure that's 100% accurate, which is kind of scary to think about. And we now have all of these big investment firms that are talking about divesting people's 401ks from like the portfolio programs that they have. They're talking about removing funding from firearm companies. I really think we might be in trouble here.
Well, that is a little disturbing, but there's 300 million guns in this country already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we're doing. I mean, it's not like they're getting.
I honestly, it could be with a company like Winchester, as old as it is. I mean, Winchester is actually, they have some great firearms, but they've gotten a little behind the times. You know, I look at companies, you know, like my 45 is a Magnum Research. And I look at companies like that, companies that are constantly trying to innovate. And that's part of what people don't understand too, is what the Second Amendment was. It you know, they sit there and the argument just slays me when they say, oh, it was written when there were just muskets. Well, number one, repeating arms had already been invented. They just weren't readily available. But number two, if they really honestly thought that guys that were smart enough to start this country and write the Constitution we have, if they really think they weren't intelligent enough to realize that industry was going to advance and there were going to be advancements, it drives me crazy, because the Second Amendment was written so that common folk like you and me would have access to anything the government had access to. Now, I know that's limited. Obviously, we're not going to have tanks. But at the time, private citizens could own cannons, you know? I mean, they did.
But there's nothing in the Constitution.
How do you think we fought the Revolutionary War? Do you think it was all just a standing army here that fought the Revolutionary War? No, it was citizens. It was citizens with armaments. That's what it was in the Civil War, the Revolutionary War. It was citizens. God, I got Civil War on the head because everybody's telling me they're going to start a Civil War. The Second Amendment was written to ensure that we weren't taken by a tyrannical government like we were that caused the Revolutionary War. I don't get what people don't understand about that. You know, I mean, yes, I should be able to own at least a semi-automatic rifle and a semi-automatic pistol. I should be able to. The end. That's what the Second Amendment is.
To be fair, there's nothing in the Second Amendment that says I can't own a tank.
No, there isn't.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm being honest with you.
I'm one of the crazy people.
If you want to do the paperwork, and if you want to go through the intrusion in your life and everything to get the proper federal firearms license, you can own a tank or a fully automatic weapon. You can.
Yeah. I'm one of the crazy type people that honestly thinks we should be able to own pretty much anything that the government has if we can afford it. But that makes me crazy, and I freely admit that fact because I actually said that to a libertarian friend of mine once, and I even made him go, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, if we can afford it, I personally think that's what the Second Amendment was about. If we're going to be able to fight tyranny of government, we need to be able to have the same type of weapons they have. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I know it gets old, but it's still one of my favorite quotes from Austin Peterson. I believe that a gay married couple should be allowed to protect their marijuana fields with fully automatic weapons.
I have to admit, that was an awesome clip.
Yeah.
Awesome bit.
I mean, but if you think about it, that's liberty right there. That's liberty.
And it is. I mean, but that's the thing, because, you know, we keep the opposite side of the argument, because we keep talking about, you know, we have the freedom to own these weapons. And then everybody's like, so you're saying freedom is the ability to murder someone? The sad thing is, well, no, but the thing about it is that honestly is what freedom is, because you have the ability to make choices. It's up to you as to whether or not you make good choices or you make bad choices. You have the freedom to shoot somebody if that's what you decide you want to do, but you have to be ready to face the consequences. So, I mean, in its simplest form, that is technically part of freedom, because we are free, you have the ability to make choices that are both positive in your life and in your community, or negative in your life and in your community. That is, in essence, freedom. That's one of the reasons, and I can't remember who the actual quote was attributed to at the moment, but that's one of the reasons that one of the quote I'm about to say came about, which is only a virtuous populace can actually have freedom. Because freedom means the ability to do both good or bad things. So, yes, as painful as it is to say that, and as oh my God, it makes people take their breath away when somebody says that, yes, that is technically what freedom is. If you because you decide you want to do that, you decide you need to do that, then that's technically what being free is. That's why we have to have a moral compass if we're going to be in a free society. Because if we don't, we find ourselves in what we're watching today. Because when people are too free and they don't have a moral compass, they start doing things that they shouldn't do because they don't have anything telling them not to.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's also like the hypocrisy I see. You know, they with the whole thing with Dana Lesh the other night. I mean, people literally calling for her death. Calling for her death. The same people that are saying that guns need to be banned because people are being killed, are calling for somebody's death. What? There's a serious disconnect there. Serious disconnect.
Oh, there's a massive disconnect, but that's part of the problem. I mean, if you really want to get right down to it, the biggest thing that we have going on in this country right now is that everybody's disconnected from everybody else. We have these great gathering places on the internet, but everybody's disconnected when they're meeting up that way. And it gives them the freedom to be assholes if that's what they decide they want to do. And the problem is, after somebody spends so much time on the internet being an asshole, they decide, hey, I can be this way in real life. And I mean, I've seen it more often than not.
Absolutely. I mean, and it, you know, the stuff with Dana. I mean, it's gone. It starts on the internet. It's gotten off the internet. The woman has had to move her family twice in the last year because it goes off the internet. The people, and I'll tell you what, her moving herself is probably helping whoever is threatening her. Because anybody that wants to come into her house is in big trouble.
Yeah.
Huge trouble.
I would definitely say that's probably a true statement.
I don't understand the mentality of we want you dead because we think guns are bad. Or this, we want a civil war because we think guns are bad. We want a civil war to disarm you. Wait, so you're telling the people that actually have the guns that you want to start a war with them to disarm them? This makes no sense. And more, you know, we touched on this school shooting this time. I still, where is the investigation on the Vegas shooting? Where is that? Why don't we hear anything about that?
Dude, that was so 5 minutes ago. We moved on to this shooting, and it's confusing.
Right, but no, I want to know.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just, but that's the whole thing. It's like we go from incident to incident to incident, and as soon as the next incident happens, nobody's talking about the other one anymore because we're too busy focusing on this one.
Right, but for some reason, that one's been really pushed under the table. Really pushed, and
I blame the FBI.
When a guy shoots up a freaking baseball field full of conservatives, where are all the liberals crying for gun control?
Oh no, they were there because they were using that as an excuse. Now maybe all you evil Republicans will realize that gun control is a good idea. They were there.
Yeah, but it went away pretty quick though.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it went away pretty quick.
It didn't last anywhere near as long as when it's not somebody conservative that gets shot. So yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying they actually did try to do that. It just didn't seem to catch on for them as quickly. So they kind of stopped.
Yeah, because again, I mean, I don't know. People get on me for this when I say it, but all of these big high-profile mass shootings, what almost completely and overwhelmingly do all of them have in common? Two things.
I'm not sure where you're going with it, so I'll let you have the floor. What two things do they have in common?
Maybe not this one, but I'd really like to see where all this stuff about his social media posts goes. But almost overwhelmingly, every one of them is either a Democrat or came from a Democrat family, and none of them are NRA members.
Yeah, I mean that.
So why do conservatives get blamed and the NRA get blamed?
Well, because it's the NRA's fault that we have guns. Because the NRA, because the NRA is massively funded by the gun lobby, and in return the gun lobby supports the NRA. They're the reasons we can't make these nasty, scary, evil AR-15s, which, for those of you who don't know what an AR-15 stands for, according to the liberal, it's an AR stands for assault rifle, and 15 is the number of people that you can kill in 30 seconds with an assault rifle.
Right. No, it's Armalite rifle.
Oh, I know. Jen and I were talking about that Thursday. I actually stole her thing because she says, well, AR stands for assault rifle, right? Because she was being the facetious liberal at that point. And I'm like, no, it actually stands for the manufacturer.
Right, the original manufacturer, which was Armalite. And it's just it was based off of the M16, so they just used 15.
So, but yeah, I mean, and I think that's ultimately where the scariness comes from, is because it looks so much like a military issue weapon. One of the things that drives me crazy, and I keep seeing it go around on the internet, and I actually called out a liberal friend who posted it, and they were all like, well, it's mainly just like to prove a point, right? I said, you're missing the point. You're passing something around with inaccurate information. For multiple reasons, but the biggest sticking point for this one, for me, is this little text meme that's going around that says, one of the things that scares me the most about living in this country is that an 18-year-old can walk into Walmart and walk out with an AR-15. First of all, Walmart hasn't sold AR-15s since 2015. So, pick a new store. Second of all, not quite that easy. You can't just walk out of the store usually with a weapon same day unless you have background checks and everything else already on file and have like an actual law enforcement permit. In most states, they don't let you leave the store with the gun the same day. Just saying.
They do here, but you still have to pass a background check. I mean, I can walk into, an Academy Sports here, and with for a long rifle, for any kind of long gun, I can walk in, pick it out, have them run my background check, and walk out with it. All paperwork said and done, paid for, takes about an hour and a half. With a handgun, I have to go to the sheriff's department, buy a purchase permit, which I do not get until they've run a background check on me, and then go to the store where they recognize my purchase permit, but then yet still run another background check on me. So it still takes another hour and a half, 2 hours. After I've already gone to the sheriff's department to get a purchase permit.
Dude, I have a federal background check, an OSBI background check, a local background check with my fingerprints on file, and anytime I go buy a firearm, they still make me do another background check.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. Now, here in the state of North Carolina, you don't need a purchase permit if you have a concealed carry permit, but you still get the in-store background check, because what they're checking is that you haven't done anything wrong since you got your concealed carry permit. That's what they're checking. Now, I don't know. I can't attest for every other state and what they do. I can tell you here in North Carolina, even if you have a concealed carry permit or a purchase permit, you are still going to get another background check when you go and purchase that gun. So, my question is what law is going to make it any harder? Other than, California has a mandatory wait period. So you go through and you get all of your paperwork done, you get your background checks done, everything else, and then you have to wait 10 days. Where they literally take the gun you just paid money for and they put it in a safe and make you come back and pick it up 10 days later. And their whole thing is, well, maybe you'll change your mind.
Well, I mean, honestly, with all of the things that have slipped through the cracks with background checks lately, I'm kind of leaning towards there being a period where they can kind of go back and double check and triple check to make sure there's something that didn't get missed.
But that's not what they do in California. They don't go back and double check.
Well, no, I'm not saying
all they want you to do is change your mind.
Well, yeah, I understand. I don't misunderstand what I mean. I wasn't just talking about in California. I'm saying in general, with the number of times recently where we've seen background checks have actually failed because the information hasn't been updated properly. One of the things that I think I would be okay with is like maybe a 3 to 5 day holding period for them to double check all of your background check information and make sure there's not something that fell through the cracks. I mean, I'm not sure how we would get the missing information, but if we can put a hold on something long enough to double check and triple check and make sure that like the dude in Texas that got the gun that had the offenses through the Air Force that should have stopped him from being able to buy a gun. We need to find a way to be able to double check and triple check that stuff, because apparently the instant background checks aren't working very well because people aren't updating their data fast enough.
No, the government isn't updating their data fast enough, which doesn't surprise me.
Well, no,
everybody is dependent. Everybody is, look at this school shooting. I mean, it's beyond Broward County. I mean, the FBI dropped the ball too. They want. See something, say something. People see something, say something. And the FBI goes, meh, all right, whatever. I don't have time for that. And then they go in and shoot up school.
Wow, so pretty much sorry, I just saw Joe Walsh put out an update. I'm going to double check this, but it looks like pretty much every rental car company just jumped on the boycott NRA bandwagon. That does not make me happy. Apparently, Wyndham Hotels is pulling their discounts. Enterprise, which we already knew that. First National Bank of Omaha is no longer going to do whatever they do with the MRA. NRA, Simply Safe, MetLife, North American, and Allied Van Lines, Budget, Avis Hertz, LifeLock, and Symantec have all joined the boycott NRA crowd.
I won't rent cars anymore.
Guess it's a good thing I really don't rent.
I am now a big fan of Ugly Duckling Rent-A-Car.
What the hell is that?
You never heard of Ugly Duckling?
No, I have not.
No, it's true rent-a-car company. They're just slightly more used cars. And you can rent them cheap.
Yeah, I'm all about cheap. All right, so believe it or not, we're just about out of time. So, yay, fun times. I guess why don't you remind folks where it is that they can hang out with you when you're not on the radio hanging out with me?
You can hang out with me on Twitter. My handle is @MadFeist, which is MADFIEST. And on Facebook, it's my name, Dan Wright. Usually on Twitter, though. I'm not on Facebook very much.
Yeah, I kind of tend to stay away from Facebook, and I kind of remembered why today, because I posted something kind of controversial, and then my stepdad and my uncle-in-law started beating up on liberal friends that I have on Facebook. Like, oh yeah, this is bad. So, yeah. So one last thing, and then we really do have to get out of here. Apparently there's a new wave of horrible tax reform bonuses arriving. Utility bills have been lowered in 39 states. Nancy Pelosi's a little sad.
Aww, poor Nancy.
So not only are you getting more of your check, a lot of people are getting bonuses from their employers. And in 39 states, you're now saving money on your electric bill because of the corporate tax cuts.
Aww.
But trickle down doesn't work, folks. Remember that. It's all a sham. It doesn't work. All right, folks, we are out of time. We will be back with you next week. I will be back with you Tuesday for America Off the Rails. And then next Monday, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, I'll actually be doing a guest appearance on Jesse's POV. So that should be fun. And
hey.
What?
You'll be back on Tuesday with Jen and Rick, too.
Oh, yeah, I will be. So, yeah. But they know my schedule. If they should by now, anyway. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. God bless.
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.